Exhausted. How you guys? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, Bill. That was quite a bit. Quite a bit. Okay. We got everywhere where I can see because sometimes I have my computer at night and need to learn when to get off and stay off. But today I took a picture of the binder. Because you're gonna need this. Well, I'm gonna need this, but if you're going through this and you're trying to get information transfer, or you're trying to get new information um, dealing with someone with a mental illness and you need help and you're trying to get resources, what I suggest to you is to get a binder, and you're going to take this binder and separate it as if you can get a sectional binder, with the little tabs and everything in it, that will be great, because this takes research. I won't try to get you to feel like, it's the most horrible thing in the world to do, or very time consuming. It is time consuming sometimes, but it's the groundwork at the beginning. Once you get that groundwork and you have a ritual where you can readily access the information, things get a lot easier as far as getting contacts. Okay. So when when I when I call, or when I need some resources for my mom, during this transaction, I've been writing down everything, all the resources that we have in the area. Um, so yeah, right now I'm gonna call and show you guys what are the steps to getting your um going from one institution to another, dealing with therapists. You know, say for instance, you're not having um, a good track record with your therapist, and you don't think that things are getting better, or it's been a proven track record. With my mom, it's been a proven track record that um, those services um, are not enough. So what I'm doing is calling people to see how she can get transferred. Okay. How she can get transferred and get the services that she needs. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call a counseling place called Headwaters Counseling. And the reason why I called them is because they're like the main, when you go into different areas and you're dealing with mental health, it's just like physicians. There are known physicians, and there are known like Medicaid, Medicare providers that will take those plans if you don't have, insurance, or if you have Medicaid, or less expensive, a less yeah, a less expensive mental health or medical package. Um, they also take private insurance, and they also help people when they're on a sliding scale. So my thing with them, I used it for myself when I was dealing with abuse, dealing with physical and emotional abuse, and going through my stages of grief. And it was very tremendous. It was very um, liberating, and they took a lot of care. And not only that, I saw a lot of the services that they had, not only for me, but some of the services that they had with people with addictions and things like that, and how the turnaround was very astronomical. They had really, really good turnarounds. So and when I say turnarounds, meaning that it didn't mean that, excuse me, all their symptoms went away, but they had a more positive outlook as to how they're going about their day, and how they're able to deal and function with the day. So um, that's why I chose them, and this is why I'm using them to call. Now I do have some other counseling places that I do have in mind, but they don't use a sliding scale. Some of them out here, a lot of places out here would do that, even though they don't have a sliding scale, meaning that if you're not able to pay, they go based off of your income, what you're able to pay. Um, there are some places that will give you free sessions, free 3 free sessions or 6 free sessions until you're able to pay, and that way it gives you that leeway where you're able to get in and speak to someone so that you can um, get the help. So here is me calling Headwaters Counseling in Fort Wayne. And my mom was at Edgewater. Y'all notice that most of the places that deal with counseling, y'all, is dealing with water. I just, Headwaters, Clearwater. There are like a lot of other places that do that. Yeah, that's another example, but another explanation. But I don't know why I thought about that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let me stop. But it's a lot of symbolic meaning um behind water, instability, and mental health. Um, I think I'm gonna have to bring that book. I was reading this book about King Tut, and it was people talk about King Tut, about him being one of the wealthiest men on earth. But in this book that I read about him, it was talking about the water and how he used to read books and things like that just to educate himself on how to stay wealthy and the methods that he used to govern places and to do things and to go about his way, and how he was so fascinated with water, y'all. Okay. But anyhow, let me get back to this topic because I'm being long-winded. Here's Headwaters Counseling. Why? Okay. I don't know why is it saying server unreachable, but we're gonna try again. It's saying server unreachable. That's weird. That's the same message. That is the same exact message, y'all, I got from yesterday when I was trying to do um, National Alliance of Mental Illness. I wonder. Will it do it now? Let's see. Hold on, you guys. $89.90. Okay. Just trying to make sure that I had it on my phone correctly. $89.90. So I'm gonna call here and see if it's gonna allow me to do so. We'll see if that says the server is unreachable. Server unreachable. Weird. When I say weird, that was beyond weird, y'all. Um, Let me see if I can call someone. Why is it saying server unreachable? Y'all, give me 1 second, and then I'm gonna reboot my phone. I don't know why it's saying that, especially since I paid my bill just recently. Y'all know who I got. T-Mobile. Come on, y'all. Come on, T-Mobile. You need to get this together. There we go. No. Okay, it's got a lot of bright. Well, that's a little too bright. Let's put it down. Okay, yeah. All right. So we're going to try and call Headwaters Counseling and get some information on there.
Headwaters Counseling, how can I help you?
Hi, I was calling because I'm trying to see what I need to do to get my mother. She wants to have another therapist, but she's moving from Gary to Fort Wayne. How would she go about that?
So she would speak to our intake clinician, Alicia. She would be able to get her started, scheduled, and set up. If we do go, does she have insurance here by chance?
She has Medicaid and Medicaid. I don't think it went to Medicare yet.
Okay, so we do accept that. And if she were to lose insurance by chance, we go based on household size and income. Okay, so our intake clinician is currently on the phone call. Would you like to hold, or would you like a voice message? She could go ahead and return your phone call with more information.
I'm gonna leave my information and then she can give me some more information on that.
Okay, sounds good. Just a second, please. Hello, you've reached Alicia in the intake office. I'm sorry, I am unavailable to take your call. If you are experiencing an emergency, please call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. Please leave me a message speaking your name clearly with a phone number where I can reach you. I will return your call as soon as I am able to by the end of the next business day. Thank you.
Usually they do get back. Hi, my name is Belle Dean. That's B as in Bravo, ELLE. Last name Dean, D as in Delta, EAN. I'm calling about seeing if I can get transfer or getting enrolled as a, well, not me, my mother as a client for Headwaters Counseling. Currently, she is a client of Edgewater Systems in Gary, Indiana, and she is moving to Fort Wayne. So I wanted to get some information on that. My telephone number is 219-315-9900. Thank you. Okay. So, um, yeah. that's what that. I wish I could have seen, they could have talked about it a little bit more. It seems like every time I'm away from my computer or I'm away moving around, that's when they call me and they give more of the details. But basically what the receptionist was telling me, like, to go, it was going to take this intake process. The intake process is usually takes like 15 to 30 minutes. They write down information about your previous history, things like that, and they get back to you. But since my mother has already been in the system, they can go and they just have to have release to get her information and to get it sent. So yeah, that's I really wanted her to go and talk about that because it gives a lot of information about it. What else? That's kind of about it because they're gonna do almost the same services. But like I said, out here they do have a lot of wraparound services where she's able to get not only from one person but get it from multiple people. So say for instance, and this is one of the things that I deal with most of my clients. So funny how God makes everything happen and makes things work like this. My clients, sometimes when we have these wraparound services, it's not just for them to have a better life and to get balance, but it helps in so many other ways that people don't understand. Just like if you were in a relationship and you have friendships, because a lot of these people don't have built those relationships, they're using you as a crutch. They're able to communicate with other people and other individuals to where if they're having a problem, they're going to go and talk to the most person that they had the most time with. And they might not tell their therapist. Say, for instance, I'm a case manager, right? A lot of my clients have like therapists, psychiatrists. They have other case managers. A lot of them, they have direct support professionals. They have registered behavior technicians. Okay. So they built these relationships with these people. And sometimes they're comfortable with saying some things with other people and they won't tell another source of people, what's going on and what's happening. Sometimes it's fear and sometimes it's lack of trust. So yeah, with that, they're able to come back and speak on it a lot. You can say, okay, well, Jimmy hasn't shown me, I'm the therapist, he hasn't told me any signs of him feeling left out or anything or any type of abuse. But the case manager or the registered behavior technician can say, hey, I've seen Jimmy told me this, and now they can work on this, work on it. They see the problem and now they can work around it and they get them back centered. When the pieces are not connected, it makes it very difficult to treat the client. That's one of the things that I also have to deal with my mom. Matter of fact, I have to call her case manager now, even though I really don't like what happened. And I will tell you guys, this is not a black and white. This is not a black and white thing. So I don't condone anyone just getting up and just because they're not liking a service for one period of time to get up and transfer or to move to for another service. I definitely don't condone that. However, there are instances where it is in the client's best interest to have that type of support. And how can I say that? And it's very crucial to their success. One of the main things dealing with my mother writes books, y'all. Like when I say my mother writes books, my mother's written songs. She's written grants. at her age of 60 something, she's written grants, she's written poems that not only in the previous but in this present time that has been used, and she will get paid for it. That grant book, my mother loves that grant book. And she does really well. The difference is that some people, if you don't have those wraparound services, you're only seeing one side of a person, and you can't properly treat them with that. And sometimes it leaves a gap for the therapist, for the psychiatrist, for everyone involved. It leaves that gap of how do we get this person back to this point. So and I know that for the most part, especially with my testimony and the things that I went through, it will show some things that were missing, and that are integral. So, yeah, I think about my life about that all the time, because I never went into this field, and I never wanted to go into this field at all. The first thing that I wanted to do was to leave and to never turn back. And that was my whole thing, was to leave and to never come back. But I always came back because my grandmother was alive, things like that. So yeah, that's a whole nother story, y'all. I know I'm always getting into a whole nother topic, but the wraparound services, that's why I wanted to have her transfer, because for one, it's not working. Even if it was extended to have the wraparound services, it's kind of like a dead end over there. So, yeah, what I'm gonna do is call her case manager that is at Reed, and explain to her what I know about her not taking that medication, and yeah, hopefully that can get some of the things rolling, because the main thing is to get my mom healthy, and to second, not to have her as the ward of the state, meaning being in a group home. My mom can do a lot of those things, and not having that independence is debilitating her. It really is. And she's even talking about it. And that's when she's more reluctant on trying to get help there. Not only that, the abuse that she endured there, because my mom literally dealt with physical abuse. Someone attacked her in her head, the place that she's having the illness in, because when you're dealing with schizophrenia and bipolar, especially schizophrenia, it's the frontal lobes. Y'all, I just think about so much stuff that I like. God makes everything happen for a reason. When I used to be I was in the 8th grade, and the 9th grade, and the 7th grade, my focus used to be in science, you guys. I used to focus on science and the brain and the pineal gland and on the frontal lobe. I was really into that. I kid you not. I just thought about that, and I had made this science project, and it had like little worm. It like had the brain made and everything, y'all. And they were so impressed about the brain. My cousin helped me with the brain too, because he's very artist. Like he's man. I can make the brain with the loops, but he can draw the little things. He's so intricate in that. But the reason why I got 3rd place is because I had this cousin who took my research and took the reference pages. You know how you have your research and you have your facts and everything, and he took the pages and he threw it out, just being mean, just very mean. And at the last minute, when I came and I thought, I was like, I know I'm getting to state, I know, and I didn't get it. I got 3rd place because I didn't have that page, but everything else was in. I remember that, y'all. Like, I just thought about that. That was crazy. But it's so funny how God brings everything back, bring everything back to in alignment, and how, man, this is no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences at all. But yeah, so she's been attacked in that frontal. That's where the frontal lobe, that's where, schizophrenia occurs. It's that memory in that block. But if they don't see basically they're only seeing one side. Even with Edgewater, they only seen one side because they never reached out and tried to get that whole view side of how is your mom in normal day life? How does she act in this and that and that way? And when she is going off of that, there are certain triggers. When I say certain triggers, like I can know right off the back when my mom is about to have a go down situation. Before, I've seen her where she's taking all her clothes off. I've seen her when she has been very violent. I've seen her when she has been petrified and paranoid and violent. I've seen her when she just acts out and roll out. But there's always triggers. There's always things that happen right before. So yes. So yeah, I'm going to call her case manager and talk about that and give them some insight on what transpired. Hopefully I can talk to her and she's around.
Thank you for calling Richmond State Hospital. Please listen carefully to the following options. To speak the name or enter your party's extension, please press 1. To access professional
I can't remember her
scheduling, please
I could not remember her what's the name? Gosh. Your call. Can't remember her extension, but that's okay. We're going to speak to Donna McFarland.
Richmond State Hospital.
Hi, I was calling for Donna McFarland.
Okay, hold just a second.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hi, you've reached voicemail for Donna McFarland, social worker for units 420 A and B. I'm unable to take your call at this time, but if you leave me a message, I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. Thanks and have a great day. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, Miss McFarland. This is Belle Dean, Patricia Dean's daughter. I was trying to contact you about some issues and some concerns that I had, and some things that she expressed to me. And I think that it will be very impertinent for you to know. So when you get this message, please call me back at 219-315-9900. Thank you. So, oh goodness. Okay. So it's, man, I'm telling you, dynamic. I can't even believe that. I thought about that. I didn't even think about, I'm sorry. Sorry, you guys. I wish I could have gave you guys more information, but it doesn't always happen that way because we live in the real world and in life. That was just amazing for me to even think about that doggone project, y'all. I made so, and I would go year after year and I would read these books. Oh my gosh. I did not remember. You guys, I used to read psychology books when I was like 5. I remember that 5 and 6 years old. And the reason why is because my grandmother had these books, and my cousin was going to school to be a nurse. She never became a nurse, but she definitely should have been a nurse. Like, when I say she should have been a nurse, she should have been a nurse. And I think she was just getting knocked down and bottled in about things, but and attack, because she had a lot her thing was she ended up having like kids, a lot of kids, but that doesn't stop people. But in that time, in that era, because a lot of things have shifted from the last 10 years, from the last 20 years, from the last 30 years, I'm sure from the last 40 years. Not too long ago, people were very ostracized. They still ostracize a lot of people who have like, children out of wedlock, things like that. And it just prevented her. I'm telling you, my cousin is very, very loving and caring, and she is very, very smart. Like when I say this is the cousin that everyone says, like, she is very smart, but she's like book smart, really smart. And she is not street smart. Like sometimes common sense. It took her a little bit longer to have those kind of skill sets. And because of that, she did not finish in doing it. But she had a she still has a vibrant life. Like, and now she has like grandchildren now, and just it's but anyhow, she used to have these books, and the books, like, they had psychology, they had the little nursing with the anatomy and things like that. And so my grandmother had all these books for me, had all these books for her, because my grandmother used to read a lot. I think that's why I found a lot of joy in reading. You get a lot of information by reading. Not only that, my mother reads a lot of books. If you really want to get my mother stimulated on a lot of things, yeah, you can see them jumping around, and people getting active and things like that. My mother loves to read. Like, she can read things, and is really, really good at it. My cousin had these books, and it was like dealing with anatomy and things like that. And I would finish my books, and I would read her books, and they were like, "How do you even know these words?" And I broke them down because, once again, my grandmother was a school teacher. It was just a lot of things that I just had to that I had advantage of, because my grandmother had taught me things. And I knowing another language at a young age, you're constantly, and people are doing things, and a lot of things is going around in your area. Sometimes you can escape in books. I found a lot of escape in books. And you can learn a lot of things. You can learn a lot of things. And I remember I was just so fascinated about the brain, y'all. I was so fascinated about the brain. I thought about that now when I was just talking about it, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And it talked about a lot of that, and a lot of the things that happen in geriatric practice, and when the nerves get shortened, and not only with schizophrenia, but with like issues with like autism, things like that. I never thought that I would actually be able and have those certifications and even work in that field, but I do. I thought I was gonna have like this happy-go-lucky. Not to say that it was an easier test, but it's a bubbly kind of thing. And sometimes in this arena, it's not so bubbly. So, yeah, but I learned through reading all those books, and I didn't even think. I never thought about putting that together because it was so long ago. I mean, I literally, it had to be from the time I was like 5, sometimes like 4, because I still was reading a lot of college books when I was like 4 years old. Because once again, if you're with someone that's older, they're teaching you the stuff. And I read all my books. We had these books called Carousel Trumpets, when you go like to kindergarten. I was already in like Adventures in the 4th grade book in kindergarten, and then, yeah. So that kind of thing, I was already kind of prepared ahead of the game on what to do and where to go with that. Yeah, but I never thought that I would be in this arena and dealing with that. But it's so fascinating to see how everything goes into a circle. like a circle. So yeah. I'm gonna end this because it's already 35 minutes and I didn't get to exactly what I wanted to do, which was to have that conversation with the process, the intake process, and how to transfer your funds, how to transfer your information. It really is funds because it's data. That's all currency is. It's data. Transferring your data over from one institution to the next. Now, I think there is some tension dealing with, getting my mom the resources and getting the help. Of course, there are going to be some people that are not going to like having to have that transfer. But that is okay. The main goal is to make sure that she is safe and she's able to function and get the things that she needs. If you are a caregiver or anything like that, one of the things that I do want to remind you is that you have to be on top of things. You have to be on top of things, meaning that you cannot wait to the last minute for things to happen. Being prepared helps a lot more than not being prepared for things. Because when you're dealing with the human nature and human services, you come across other people's lack of preparedness. You're coming across other people's problems and instances, and you're not able to better assess if you're not fully together yourself. So really good to have that. What else? I think that is about it. I'm going to get off of here, and thank you so much. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem and have a great day.